What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar with C-Zar Gets Crypto, and we'll be talking about 3 different altcoins today, starting it off with AVAX, Avalanche, moving on to Shiba Inu, and finishing it all up with 1inch. These come to us at the request of J. Boy Smith for Avalanche, Nathan O.J. Alas for Shiba Inu, and then who was it that requested 1inch? Mr. Daniel Mullen. We're doing this for you. If you guys have any requests, anybody out there, feel free to leave it in the comment section. I will leave a link to the Discord if I remember. I'm pretty good about it these days, but sometimes I forget. But I'll leave a link in the description to the Discord, and you can leave requests there as well. I do tend to those requests first. But without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to be, again, starting off with Avalanche, moving on to Shiba Inu, and finishing it all up with 1inch. That's right. Okay, so let's get into this here. Looking at this here on the daily. Looking at it, yeah, I mean, you look really good. You definitely look strong, very constructive. My point of concern, I suppose, would be this trend. It's a good trend. It's definitely nice. It's been nice, but the thing is the RSI it's a scale, right, from 0 to 100. So here you are, all the way up at 93. You can only go so much higher, and it's really hard, like damn near impossible to get to 100. You know, it just gets incrementally harder as you move up. And what I'm worried about, the concern, why I have this concern with this kind of like upward channel that you're in, is that you might break it on your next attempt down. You might not. In fact, what I kind of am thinking at the moment is you're coming to the end of your uptrend. You might bounce off this one more time, find a lower high in the RSI, but maintain a higher high in price, get some bearish divergence. What a classic way to break out of a trend. And whenever you break out of this, you will probably consolidate. You know, this is on the daily time frame. You've been in this channel since August. You'll probably consolidate for quite some time, probably over a month, maybe even more than 2 months. And consolidation, just so you know, like if you top off, consolidation can look like this, right? Like it can go pretty far down, right? It can look like that. It could look like this. It could be horizontal consolidation, though more likely after a big run up like this, you'd probably see a retracement. Let's see where you're going. Let's see where you're going in the meantime, because I think as of right now you might be coming on your way down, but I don't think you're done with this move just yet. I do think you have one more leg in you. From your previous low here, where you consolidated, to your current high, finding support on the 236 on this day, coming up, finding a little resistance on the 069. The 069, so you know, is not a Fibonacci level. I know that, right? If you didn't know that, that's the truth. It's not a Fibonacci level, at least to my knowledge. It's not. It's just a level that I've identified that oftentimes the 069 and the 69 do find significance or relevance. And if it's a coincidence, it's a pretty big coincidence, because it happens a lot. You know, if I take this to the 69 right here, put a line like that's not really right on it, is it? But like right on it there. Delete the fib. You know, previous area of resistance right here. I guess nothing really significant going back, but relatively speaking, you know, in the short term, it is somewhat significant. But I digress. What I'm trying to say is I think you go down to about $32. Here you are at 40. It wouldn't surprise me if you went down to about $32, and then from there you see your final move up, right? And you probably do this fairly quickly. I would think by the end of the month. It could happen, man. It could happen in like 2 or 3 days. It could happen this week, because I do think crypto's going to do well. You know, I think we're going to have a Santa Claus rally for Bitcoin and for some other things. So, you know, it might not look like that. It could look more like just like a straight drop down and then like a finish like this, something like that. I would think it's hard because you don't have your low yet. Let's look out a little bit more. Is this the best chart to be using too? There is more historical data. Where can we find you? Okay, Binance. What about USDT? Because I was on the Coinbase chart most of this time. Okay, USDT for the volume's sake. Because the crypto, generally speaking, not always, but whenever you see this here, if you're ever looking, this generally does have the most historical data for any chart, but not always. Sometimes it doesn't, so it helps to hop around, you know. But let's see if I can. Top, that's not the top. I tried. I really did. That's not the bottom either. Come on now, top to bottom, if I can get it. Come on, there we go. Yeah, look at that. You're falling just shy of your 618. I would think you go up a little bit higher, and that would take you to like above $50, probably below $61. and that is a previous area of support as well as resistance back here. So it wouldn't be too crazy at all. And then what was that 382 at? Again, was it 31, 32? Is that what it was? 32.50? Yeah, you could go down there. I would think you do, though. I would think that you do go down there. You might not. You could continue to consolidate sideways. If you see that, if you like fail to like cast lower lows and you just continue to ping pong in this area, you might just do that and then move up. You don't have to move lower. It's just kind of my automatic bias assumption. You move up, you move down to consolidate, and then you move up more. That's just kind of how my brain works and how it generally works with most things. But sometimes you don't, man. Sometimes you just consolidate sideways and then you move up. You don't even need to fall back. But your 4-hour RSI is, it's kind of looking right here like you had this uptrend here and you've broken that recently. And the 4-hour, this can resolve itself within like a couple days. So you could see this come down. You might be in a new kind of like downtrend in your RSI here. I'll delete all these little things so it's a little bit easier to see. But once you were in an upward channel, maybe now you're in a downward channel. You could go all the way down to your oversold zone and then find support. It looks like you don't really get into it. You've just bounced off it recently, so I kind of would expect that, especially with the understanding that you might be moving higher. So, I would think you do move lower. I really would. If you were to move higher, maybe move higher over the next like 8-hour period, 12-hour period at the most. But that, I don't know. I don't know if that happens. The only reason I'm saying that is because if this is a downward sloping channel, you have room to go up, but you don't have to go up. You could still go down. So, and who knows? Maybe it's not a channel. All I know is you had this ascending trend here. You've clearly broken out of it. I think you've yet to see the full repercussions of that, and that probably would come in like lower prices. And if you look at this as the green line, the 123 moving average, which let's see how you've performed with this. Actually, you found support last time, and that you were consolidating, moving sideways, right? And then once you actually touch the green line, time to go. You know what I mean? Didn't really show too much respect. I guess you found resistance on it here. Another way to look at this might be the best time to buy on this pullback would have been below the green line, right? Those were some of the better, more effective prices. And here you are coming down, finding resistance on it as you're coming down. Yeah, so I would think that coming down, this green line will continue to go up. Again, it's the 123 moving average. It's not some secret, sacred green line. I mean, I do think 1, 2, 3 has significant meanings, in numerology and stuff like that. But maybe that's not real either. I don't know, man. I find it to be significant. Is all I'm trying to say. But if this continues to move up, your 3250 level is where that 382 is, and this develops a lot quicker. If in a couple days you're like not down at 32 yet, this is right now we're on the 23rd, or no, that's 2023. We're on the 19th. You could be moving down for the next like few days or so. Interact with this green line, maybe go just below it like you did last time, and then you find support. And then it's also kind of in this area like where you found support before. You kind of consolidated, found support right here, support right here. So I do think you go lower, probably around $32. And I've spent a lot of time talking about this, so I'm going to end it there. All in all, whenever you do go higher, actually, before I end it, I do this all the time, man. I think you'll see prices above $50, but sub $61. If you break 60, that's going to be like the limit, if I really had to guess. Before seeing some more major consolidation that, again, will probably take at least a month, if not multiple months. And, move up to this 61869 area, first attempt, finding resistance. It's very common to actually go all the way back to the 382. You could go back to the 382. You could wick a little bit below it. You don't have to touch it. These are lines. They're ideas. They're not requirements. So maybe you hold support at the 0.5. Maybe you go just below the 0.5. I don't know. But I would think you see a more significant correction probably post-December or late December, like very, very late December, like the last week of December would be the beginning of it. And then who knows how long that could go on for. You were moving up here, big move up on the first week, and you consolidated for, and generally it went down, but more or less I think you can see how this was sideways. You didn't break out for 14 bars, 98 days, almost 100 days, right? You didn't break out for that long. Here you were moving up, and you consolidated sideways, broke down. Really, you didn't like break out again until 189 days. That's when you resumed. So, you can spend quite a bit of time chilling before you get ready to move up. But I do think, again, all that to say, to surmise the Avalanche kind of analysis here, I think you do have one more move up in you. You're at $40.81 now. I think first you go lower and then you go higher. And then that next higher move will probably be a good offloading point, profit-taking point for anybody that wants to take profits. But this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. That's just my opinion. As the weeks are going on, volume's decreasing as you're moving higher. That should be a sign in itself that you're getting a little bit exhausted, and that's okay. You've had quite the rally, right? I don't think anybody saw this coming. So without any more of that, let's move on to Shiba Inu. Let's see here for Mr. I think it was Nathan. Nathan OJ. Looking at this here, is it on Coinbase? Which one has the most historical data? Because I'm okay with using Coinbase. The volume's relevant. I think Coinbase is fine. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Generally speaking, this whole pattern, like its entire existence, just looks like a giant descending triangle. But you're kind of breaking that structure. Oh, that's not really a straight line at all. You're kind of breaking that structure here, right? And I know these aren't like perfectly drawn straight lines, but I hope you can see what I'm trying to go for. And you do look like you're in a nice little channel going upwards here. I can really not draw straight lines today, man. Let's see. You've got a nice kind of double bottom looking thing going on right here, right? Like that's actually a really nice shape right there. Coming off of all-time lows, like a technical double bottom on your all-time lows too. What do you got right here? Low to high. Deep retracement, big move up. Yeah, man, this looks good. It looks pretty good. The weekly RSI is constructive. You're getting into those areas of strength right now. It looked like you were rejecting like you did last time, which wouldn't have promoted good stuff. But if you can get this week to close higher and get overbought, actually, I mean, realistically speaking, that'd be like one of the few times that you've been overbought on a weekly perspective. That'd be really good. A lot of people make the misconception that the overbought zone means that it's time to go down. I personally don't think, and this chart might not be a good example of this, but like if we go to BTC just real quick, we'll get a little sidetracked and come back. You got overbought here. As soon as you got overbought, which was on this candle here, actually no, you weren't even overbought on this candle. It was this one. We started trickling up, right? You get oversold right here. It's basically on this candle when you broke the green line, and then you started to move down. Consolidated for a few weeks, but then moved down. Just all I'm trying to say is that just because you're getting overbought does not mean that it's time to go down. In fact, often it means you're just getting started. Looking at this is the daily. I thought this was the weekly. It is the weekly. What? Okay. Looking at the daily here. Let's see. Volume is it's not really bad. It's like kind of dying off, but not really. You had one standalone day here that was bigger volume, but these 2 days together might be more. Your average volume, the histogram here, which you can't really see too well. Let me see if I can try and make this a little bit thicker. Maybe like that. Yeah, there you go. It's it's increasing, so that's as you're moving up, the average volume is increasing, so that's nice. I think that you're getting ready to continue higher. I really do. I think you're about to see a move. Look at this, man. Yeah, you broke above your 618 on the second attempt. First attempt, you rejected it. Classic. Second attempt, broke through it. Found resistance on the 886. Found support on the 618, which was resistance before. And now you're continuing upwards. I think that you will at least go, here you are sitting at 401044. You'll at least go to 401313. If not 401581, which could take you, up. That would be 25 to 50%, 51% before you see a more major correction or consolidation phase. Let's draw lines right now on those and just see if that agrees with anything. It's just a couple lines, man. A couple of white lines. It's not that scary. Yeah, look at that. Zone of resistance. If you sold, even if you sold the bottom of this zone, you still sold at the relative top, right? Top of the zone, obviously a lot more resistance in this area. Even broke through it a little bit. It's somewhat significant, so yeah, you could go a little bit higher even maybe, but I would stand by this being the zone. It kind of makes sense too, right? You might be in this kind of grand accumulation phase for Shiba, and coming up here, you might consolidate for a solid second and then really break through it, and your stars will start to shine. And maybe not. Maybe you will plummet to the nothingness. But crypto's getting bullish, man, and this is a really nice. I can't express how nice of a shape that is. Like, this is, if this is a successful W, you would probably go back to the top of this, if not past it. So that's why I'm saying again that even though your 1618 is all the way up, kind of like just under that white line actually. Right, your one, all right, yeah, it's just under that right there. You could go past it. You could see your 1886 being hit. Low to high. 1886 touch right there, found support and then broke through a little bit. Resistance on your 886, you found support on your 886 over here too. You do like your 886s, don't you, Shiba? Let's see, top to bottom. Not really a whole lot to go off of there. I don't know. It really wouldn't be crazy. I would change my maximum, because before it was 401581. I'd say you're probably likely going to that 4018 area. You will probably see a greater than 50% move up, and it might happen immediately. You might continue to march this way up, and at that rate, it could take you till like March of next year to see those prices. But one way or another, whether you do just a quick flash move up or you kind of steadily inch your way up there as you've been doing, I do think that you'll see some resistance up in this area, which is also a previous area of support as well. And then consolidate, and then we could talk about bigger moves to the upside. Right now, in the day-to-day, let's just see how you look. A little bit of bearish divergence, but you gave it back. I think that bearish divergence is null and void. Really, you're just showing strength on your RSI by maintaining these more bullish positionings. Lower or higher lows, higher highs, looking good. 4 hour, let's see. Kind of neutral on the 4 hour, but with a bullish effect. I would say you're bouncing off of the bearish area of control, so that's definitely nice to see. You have a problem being oversold, but you don't have a problem being overbought. That's definitely a sign of strength in itself. Higher lows, higher highs. Yeah, I would say you're probably going higher. Shiba looks a little bit more bullish in the immediate term than AVAX might, but yeah. Yeah, look at that. Finding support on your 382, broke above it, finding support, you're probably going higher, yeah. I would bet that, more or less immediately in the next day or so, you probably see prices up here, but you could go up past that too. Making headway to those overall fib extensions that were at like 401313, right? And then 401581, I believe, and then it was 4018 something. I forget, but that's what I got for Shiba. I think it's going up in the immediate term time frame, and I think it's going up, in the coming month to months. It's probably going to continue to wig-wag its way up there before the halving. Just to get that price back on there too. I don't even need the fibs. Probably up around here. 4017, let's call it, maybe to 4018. Something like that, yeah. Yep. I'm going to draw the fib because I just want to be sure. Let's see. Yeah, it's like right there. A little bit above that even. So you could, yeah, you really could. Wouldn't that be classic, man? Classic crypto stuff. You get a higher high than you've had for like years, right? I guess a year and a half-ish. And then that's when you roll over. It's like right when you get your higher high, that's whenever you roll over. Just like right when you get your lower low, that's when you pump. Anyways, all right, because you didn't have a lower low here, you got it on this week, and that's where you pumped. Crypto, man, it really loves to mess with us. Finishing this up now with 1 inch here. 1 inch, man. Very bold to publicly be broadcasted as 1 inch. No shame, man. No shame. Let's see. Binance, maybe USDT. If not, I might just use, yeah, this is fine. Okay. 1 inch, 1 inch. I like the RSI on the weekly. This to me does look like, it's almost Adam and Eve like, but it's not at the same time. This move up here, this little phase is like a consolidation phase. I think you are going to move up again. I think that's exactly what this is. I doubt if you move lower, here you are at 36.9 cents essentially. If you move lower, I doubt that you would go below like this low on the week so far, which is 33.65. Here you are sitting at 36.9. So yeah, I doubt you even go below that. You probably hold this. Let's kind of dissect this a little bit more, actually. right? Finding support here on a previous like little shelf of resistance here, and I don't know, man. Last time you had resistance here, you broke out, you went pretty high. You're finding support on that now. I bet you are getting ready to make a move. It kind of looks. I want to look at this on the daily because it almost has like this W look, but it's so ugly. But the weekly posturing on the RSI really does give me hope. I really do like it a lot. You actually have hidden bullish divergence, which is where you have a low and a lower low in your RSI, but you have a low and a higher low in your price. You know that. Think of it like this, like in a sense, you know, you're getting weaker readings, right? Like your RSI is cooling off, but your price is still dominant, right? Like you're getting more for less, if that makes sense. And we always want to get more for less, if that makes any sense. I don't know. But hidden bullish divergence is whenever you have lower low in the RSI, higher lows in the price. I really do like this as like a consolidation phase. You're probably getting ready to break out any day now. Let's see. Neutral daily RSI, yeah, not really showing a whole lot. You know, generally with consolidation, you do end it with very low volume, and you've had below average volume for about a week now. I would say, man, probably coming into like the end of this week, if not Christmas week, this thing probably has another move, another leg up. Let's see where you're going to go. Yep. Oh, yeah, I like it, man. Here you are at 36.9 cents. You probably move up to 47 cents or 52 cents, I would think, like soon, pretty soon, if not higher. Like it's very possible that you can move up higher. Let's look at, I want to zoom out real quick, and I just want to look at 1 inch for what it is as far as like market cap versus like, I want to see if it's, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't talk and type. If it's been diluted and that's why its price is being held down. Market cap, max, logarithmic. So this is the market cap price chart, right? Readings chart. It's kind of neutral, going all the way back to 2020, right? And the price chart, just look at the difference, right? A lot down, where the market cap has more or less stayed very neutral. Yes, lower highs and lower lows for sure, but it looks like it might be changing trend now. I would assume that coins have been being diluted into the market, but you're almost fully diluted. So at whatever rate those were being put into the market, it's got to be slowing down, which again might be a bullish thing. Would you look at that? Okay, so here's the rates. Let's see. It is December 18th for me, 2023. The biggest ones are up here. Yeah, you're about to go through a supply hold kind of period where there's not going to be any new supply put in. So that kind of lines up with the idea, man. This thing could see some explosive moves to the upside pretty soon, right? Because at first you were putting a lot more supply in periodically, but it's getting smaller as of now. It's like actually like diminishing quite a bit. Let's see, and then, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how this thing does by the end of the bull market. But let's see, its market cap right now is 414 million. Let's just assume it gets, because it will get fully diluted at that schedule. It'll get fully diluted by the end of the cycle, if the cycle ends in late 2025. Fully diluted right now would be 553 million. So 553 million. If we saw like a $50 billion market cap, that'd be a 100x. Yeah, you could see new all-time highs. 50 billion is a lot of money, but it's definitely achievable. You could see new all-time highs in this cycle. Top to bottom here, look at that. 100x puts you right at your 1414. 1272 is at $20. I think these are achievable for sure. Maybe even 73, but I kind of doubt it. But in the more immediate term, I would be looking for price to move up. Here you are at 36.77 now. I'd be looking for that 382, which is right here at the 1272 as well, right there at about, what is it, 81 to 80 cents, somewhere in that range. You probably do make your way up there. I would think before the halving, but if not, I would think before the halving, just with how you look right now, right? You moved up, had your move up, consolidated, and now you're going to have your next move up. And it might be bigger, right? Because if this is a 1, 2, 3, wave 3 is generally the bigger wave. So If not, you could get stopped out around 47 or 52. You do have your 236 there lined up with your 786 and your 886, of course, and that would come in play with these kind of like lower highs that you've got going on, right? You could move up and just find another lower high. That is possible, but even from here, from the current price, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I don't need harmonics on here, man. Not right now. What was I just doing, man? Right, measuring. That's still 30%, you know, in a very, like, probably by the end of this week or by the end of next week, like sometime in this month of December, I think this thing has another 30% in it for sure. If not more, if not honestly more. You could be looking at something more substantial because you'd be breaking out of your downtrend, like officially. You found your low, sure, maybe, hopefully, but breaking out of the downtrend, you tend to get explosive moves. So you know, by the end of this year, if not before the halving, you really could see prices that are all the way up at 80 cents, potentially above $1 even. But that's all I got for you guys. If you liked the video, hit that thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content. Seriously, feel free to leave any requests in the comment section. The 4-hour looks a little bit weak on 1 inch. It could, I don't know, man. I think you're getting ready. Again, if you go lower, it's not going to be by much. It won't be by much, probably. I doubt you go lower than these wicks, and you might be consolidating again for like a couple more days, or maybe like even a few more days. But I think sometime in this week, if not sometime next week, you're going to see this thing grow a little bit more. But yeah, I got nothing else I want to say. So yeah, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Hit that like button. It really helps out, and subscribe if you would like to. Thank you. I appreciate you. Bye bye.